Thank you, and may God bless you once again for joining me on Seek and Perov. Thank you. I'm so grateful to you. It is always an honor to leverage on this video broadcasting to be dialoguing with you always. Please, if today happens to be your first time on this great platform, please don't forget to hit on the subscription button. If you click on the subscription button, it is going to make you a member of this wonderful platform, and that is going to help you to have access to all the content I am going to upload to this platform. If you click on the subscription button, it is like there's a bell. Hit on the bell also, and when you click on the bell, it is going to open a dialog box to you. Select from the options or notifications. As I said, so doing means anything that I'm going to post, anything that I'm going to upload, you will be among the first to also have the notification of that and to also watch. In the same way, if the content of this video, the message this video carries, if it is important to you, if it is educative, if it is informative, if it is entertaining, if it is instructing you, if it is providing knowledge that you were seeking for, please like the video. Clicking on the like button triggers the YouTube algorithm in promoting this particular video further to enable the audience that I am targeting them with this message get to also have access to it and to also watch. You can also decide to share the video to enable it to go across other social media platforms. Thank you, and may God bless you that you are going to do that. The last time that we met, we looked into the most important thing after your visa or after your B1, B2 visa that has been issued into your passport. I spoke concerning your host as the most important decision for you to make before you may even decide to travel. Now, you were fortunate enough, you had a very good host. Now you are in America. Hooray and congratulations. Finally, you have landed in America. What is next? Are you here to see the high-rise buildings? Are you here to see the beautiful roads? Are you here to look at just the American people? Are you here to just admire the country? No, you had economic intentions before coming to this country. So now, your journey to finding something to do starts from here. And here too, your host plays a very critical role. And here too, your host is the most important person who is going to hook you up, or who is going to connect you to a job or connect you to somebody who can help you to find something small to do to officially commence your economic journey in America. And as you know, I spoke it in the first video that because you don't have the legitimacy to work, because you came into the country without documents, you are undocumented immigrant in America. You are an alien. Nobody knows you, even though you are in the country. How do you work? How do you get access to money? How do you even cater for yourself? And how do you survive in the system? So now, I guess your host will be talking to you that maybe I know somebody who can help you to maybe work temporary. And you know, with this issue, because I'm communicating with English, I'm choosing my words very carefully. Okay, I'm choosing my words very carefully. And I believe we all do know it, right? So your host may decide to maybe hook you up to somebody, find you somebody that you can enter this discussion with a person. So that maybe through the ways and means that we both know, the person may assist you to be able to work temporary. That is your first option, depending on the state that you arrived at. Your second option may be, there may be a Ghanaian association, or there may be the Ghanaian affiliation factor in your hosting state. If the Ghanaian presence there is huge, that could also be of benefit to you, because there are many Ghanaians in America that are also employers. They are also entrepreneurs. They've been able to build business, they've been able to establish something, they've been able to maybe open a business that is also employing other people. Most Ghanaians in most states are having afro shop. Some are having restaurants. Some are having barbering salons. Some are having hairdressing salons. Some are having other businesses. Some are into home care. Some are into the healthcare, and some are even into the transportation. And some are also into exportation to Africa. Shipment and exportation to Africa. Once your host can connect you or can hook you up to this Ghanaian community, there may be the chance of you finding favor with maybe a Ghanaian or two that could be of help to you to be working with them, even though you don't have the legitimacy to work, even though you don't have the documents to work. But because you are a Ghanaian, because we are all Ghanaians and we are all Africans, we are all one people, we do understand ourselves. Because the situation that you are finding yourself in right now, that Ghanaian who is the employer, that Ghanaian who is the business owner, that Ghanaian who is the manager, that Ghanaian who is the entrepreneur, the time he also came to America, he was like you. He or she was like you. Because most Ghanaians that have been able to establish themselves here, they all came in with B1, B2 visa. They came with ID documents. They all went through the system as you have also started your journey. And today they have become somebody. So they may be the right people to understand your plight and to be able to decide to help you. So they will hook you to a certain job. And once you start that job, don't always be looking at the pay. That is one thing I've learned about our own people. When they start to work with you, even though they know at the back of their mind that maybe they can give you a better pay as compared to what they may be proposing to you, but sometimes they want to test your honesty, your commitment and faithfulness to stick to the work. They want to be clear, they want to be sure that your intentions of coming to work with them isn't only just about the money, but it is also about the fact that you also want to commit yourself to whatever it is that they are helping you to helping you to get it done, so that together you can also help them, or they can together with you build, or they can together with you lift the face of the business that you came and found them. You came and find them doing. Yes. So they may sometimes decide to maybe give you a certain pay that is nothing to write home about. But you know what? It is early days yet. Don't panic. Have patience. First, show commitment. Prove to them that you are someone who is worthy, who is trustworthy, who wants to also contribute a quota to help whatever it is that you are getting opportunity out of it. So that as you are dedicating yourself, as you are sacrificing yourself, that undying spirit in you could, trigger them to know that you are somebody that they could rely on to be working with in the long period of time. That's the need and that's the wisdom to increase your pay, so that you may find comfort to stay with them and to perpetually work with them. But as you know, if you keep on working with them for a longer period of time, and the terms of services, terms of your payment, emoluments, remunerations still remains the same, then maybe you may decide to still talk to your host, and by then maybe you would have been able to even save some small amount of money. So talking to your host can help you with other options, and this other option could be your host could also connect you to other Ghanaians in a different state. Mind you, America has 50 states, and most of the states are having employment laws that are that is quite flexible with people that are undocumented immigrants, especially most states that are tilting towards Democrats. Their immigration law, their employment laws is quite flexible, or is quite accommodative to people that are undocumented immigrants. And most of the states that are tilting towards the Republicans, they are very stringent, they are very strict, they are very tough on their immigration law, they are very tough on their employment laws. So there is no way you could survive in the system without residency documents or without green card. So if your host knows his way around, he or she could connect you to maybe somebody within a different state. And with that state, you can go there, and because their immigration law, because their employment law are flexible towards people that are undocumented immigrants, with the little money that you were able to accumulate for the job that you did, you could travel to that state, and maybe you could go and stay with that person, and that person can leverage on the little money that you have for you to maybe start something, maybe start some caregiving education, depending on the state that you may be finding yourself, or maybe start pursuing maybe your driving license to enable you to have access to maybe driving job opportunity, maybe when you are done with your process. All these options could be available to you once you know your way out, once you came to meet the right person, once your host is willing and ready to help you out. So all this information is for you once you're within the country and you are undocumented immigrants, and you still need to find something to do to keep you going. Like I said, that is how you have to start. And as you start with that, always, I believe in humble beginning. As you can humbly start with that, I believe going forward, you will be able to find an advantageous position to be able to exploit other opportunities. Okay? And now, the second point that you also may be looking at is that it wouldn't be always important for your host to maybe decide to maybe hook you up to the Ghanaian community, but your host can also connect you to other people. They may not be Ghanaians, but they may be Hispanics, maybe Mexicans, Hondurans, Indians, your colleagues, Africans from different countries. Your host may decide to hook you out to these people, and they may also have a job that would be of help to you. You see, all these options are available. And even in that state that you may be arriving at, there may be some maybe caregiving homes, adult family homes, rehabilitation homes that needs people to employ. But because you don't have the residency document, you don't have the employment document, there's no way you can work with them legitimately. So sometimes they also have a subcontractors that are kind of like recruiting African immigrants for them to come and work with them. And sometimes they are not quite strict with the procedure in recruiting people. So that could also be of consideration to you, to enable you to maybe find something to do, find something doing that could help you to raise, or that could help you to get some money to save towards the greater ambitions that is ahead of you. That is another option for you also. And most importantly, like I said, once you're also within the state that you are with your host, you can also always be checking online to be looking at some state within America that is very flexible towards people that are undocumented immigrants. A state like Washington State that I'm finding myself is one of them. A state like Georgia, we have, Alabama. You see, all these states are very good. You see, New York, Virginia, Maryland, Massachusetts. There's a lot of states. Like I said, most of the states that is tilting towards the Democrats. America is divided into two. They have the two main political parties, Democrats and Republicans. So the states that favors the Democrats, they are very good with immigration, they are quite flexible in nature, and they are hospitable towards people that are undocumented immigrants. But with the Republicans, they are mostly white nationalists, and these people feel like America belongs to them, and they don't want to see any intruder. They don't want anybody to invade. So sometimes they wouldn't allow you to get the flexibility to even work whilst you are finding yourself in the country unlawfully. They are not going to allow you. So these are all the available options that you could explore once you're here and you're without the documents. And my advice that I'm going to top it up to this employment advice I've given to you is that sometimes when you are within most of this democratic state that I'm talking about, there is a possibility that you can also try to make application for a driver license. And once you have the driving license, it could become your primary form of an ID. And that could also be of help and of a greater benefit to you. So depending on the kind of state that you are finding yourself, look online, check and see whether their processes are quite good in nature that you can try your luck in getting a driver license. And some of the states too, like New York, like I know of Maryland, I know of Virginia, and I know of, I think, Rhode Island. Yes, I mean you could get a temporary ID as an undocumented immigrant to give you maybe a little status, to give you some little legitimacy, give you some grounds upon which you can make some right decisions that could be of benefit to you. So it's all dependent on you. Once you enter the country, start exploring options, start studying online, start researching, start asking questions, start inquiring to know, and the door is always going to be open for you. As I'm saying, this information, if I had gotten it, let's say 5-6 years ago, I would have been a better person than I'm seeing myself right now in America. But I never had. I never had it, I never received it, and I never got to know what I'm telling you, because when I was coming in, I was so ignorant. My interest was just to be in America. I didn't have any plan. But today, you are fortunate to be having a plan. Make good use of this plan that I'm giving you so that you don't get here to also make a mistake. You see, and like the other one that I said, because of the choice of language that I'm using to communicate, I cannot delve deeper into it. I believe you know it. I mean, it is called the Ghanaian thing. It's called the African thing that we do here. Okay? I said, yeah, I mean, can you I said, you will be near my AAB. You mean to one kind of profile. You will be near my no. So, what person would do want to be near my also, be near my so the baby. Now, let me clarify it better. Once you have it, be very careful, because the person has confided in you. If you mess up with the process the person has activated for you, you are putting yourself in problem, and you're also putting the person in problem. And once you are doing that with a person's thing, I cannot mention it, always be truthful, be faithful. Know the do's and don'ts to that process. Don't falter. Always keep upright. And when the issues of money always comes in, if you think it is getting out of hand, you can talk to your host, you can talk to the elderly people in the community to intervene for you, so that scaffold doesn't arouse. It is very important and very critical for you to understand this process. I believe with my limited knowledge, understanding, and perspective to this issue, I've been able to give you some education. I've been able to enlighten you a little bit to help you, so that once you're here, you will be able to know how to fit into the system and not become a burden like some of us when we came in. Thank you, and God bless you. Don't leave without not subscribing. Like the video, share, and recommend this channel to all your friends and family. Thank you, and God bless you.